Hello, everyone. Whoa. Okay, trying to get this sorted out. You guys wanted to see my poor face. I don't know why, but anyways. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my craft room. Just checking my computer. There we are. I'm live. Oh, dear. Okay. Hi. Welcome to my craft room. And we're going to stamp today with the Simply Succulents bundle. I think I'm ready to go. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Ooh, look at all the peeps coming on. Yeah, so it's been one of those days, you know, where I'm behind about 10 minutes in my world. So I'm going to flip you around and point you down at the table. I hope I've got things organized. And we'll start stamping. Hang on, please. There we go. Now, let's plug the phone in. Aha! Okay. Oh, we got lots of peeps. Norma, Janet, Carmen, Holly. Hello, 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 hello. Thanks for joining me. So, just waiting for just making sure that I got myself on my hands, get things organized. Okay, Simply Succulents tonight. This is a stamp set that I have not done a lot with, and it's really cool. If you like coloring. If you don't like coloring, yeah, probably isn't going to be what you want to use, but I like it because I like coloring. So I'm going to show you a really quick, simple way to color tonight. The dies, along with the dies that cut out the images and some extra greenery pieces, there's this one. This cuts a whole card front. Now I think I've shown you before a card I got in a swap from Shanna. So let me see if I've got, there it is. It's actually 2 cards. So Shanna did a really cool thing. Hi, Marlene. She made 2 cards out of 1. So she cut this die. I'm assuming it was thick basic white. She cut that die out. And then she used it as a mask or stencil on this card. So this card is on white, and she sponged different colors on there, and it looks like that should be raised, but it's not. That's just a smooth card front. And then she used the piece that she used as her stencil onto a card front as well. Now, isn't that the coolest thing? I like it. So I'm not doing that tonight. I'm not going to do that. We're going to do this card and then make an envelope for it. So I'm going to put that away. I'm also using the stitched rectangle dies, and I didn't get the one out I need. So let's just figure out which one I need. There, that's the one. Okay, so this Succulents dies have 4 dies for labels. There's 2 here, and then there's these 2 up here. I like label dies. Hi, Yvonne. Thanks, Carmen. Shanna is pretty good at making those cards. Okay, so I have, let me get my recipe out so I can tell you the sizes, just in case you decide you want to make it. So I just did a regular envelope when I made this, but I've got a piece of Forever Greenery designer paper that we're going to make an envelope out of. Because, you know, it's coming to the time where all these papers are going to retire, and I have a lot of them, so I'm going to start using a bunch. Okay, so in the background, I have 2 pieces of the In Good Taste designer paper. So Mint Macaron is the card base. And then I got a piece of mint macaron designer paper, and I did it 5.5 by 4.25, so it covers the entire card front. There's some purple posy back here, and that's 3.25 by 4.5. No, Valerie, Fridays are 8 o'clock. Mondays and Thursdays are 7. I remembered there was a time change. That's good. Okay, purple posy, 3.25 by 4.5. Well, there's one piece of In Good Taste designer paper. That's 3.25 by 5.25. And then I have another piece down here that's 3.25 by 2. Some basic white to stamp the pot and the flowers and the sentiment. So about a 4.25 by 5.25-ish piece. And then when I opened it up, I did something different on the inside. Basic white, 5.25 by 4. Then I added a strip of purple posy, 5.25 by 1/8, and put the leftover designer paper on there and flipped it over to the other side. And that's 5.25 by 1. So, lots of ways to use your designer paper. You know my whole movement. Oh, good. This new phone, I tell you, it takes amazing pictures. The only thing, hi Sharon, the only thing I have to do is figure out how in the daytime to get rid of the glare. And I think I'm going to have to keep my sheer curtains closed to eliminate that glare during the day. But I don't often go online during the day, so it's not a big issue until it comes to a class, which I'm having on Wednesday. So we'll figure it out on Wednesday. See how it goes. I'm having my chicken class on Wednesday. Okay, so there's the pieces for the inside. Those are the inside. So I don't have any more of this pattern left. So I'm going to use this one. So it's this on one side and it's that on the other. So this will be all right. But why didn't I cut that? I have no idea why I didn't cut that. And apparently this one is going to be different because I only had a 4-inch piece left. So I have to cut that to 5.25. There we are. So that will go on there. It'll just be a bit different. It's good to make different. Oh, I didn't cut this either. Oh, that's because I have to cut this with the die. So that's going to be cut with the die, like that. Purple posy is going to go on there. That die cut goes on top of the purple posy. And then this goes down here. Yep, and no white in here to do the stamping. Good thing I got lots of cardstock. Okay. Apparently I didn't completely do this kit like I thought I had. Yeah, it's I've been trying to get stuff to the post office since Friday, and on Friday there was an incident here. Somebody on Johnson Road, which is the main thoroughfare into town, somebody ran into a telephone pole and took the power out on the top part of town up over the hill. So post office, Walmart, Staples, all in that area are all without power. And I find out today when I finally get to the post office that it fried some of their internal things. So they were having a real struggle for the past 2 days getting things going. Their computer system wasn't working. They were having to do parcels by hand. And then they couldn't process payments. So everything was cash only. And all I wanted to do was get my Easter stuff off to my northern grandchildren before we go. I could have come home and then gone another day, but I didn't. I stuck it out. Well, actually, I went to Walmart and did what I had to do there, and then went back, then went to the dollar store, and then went back. So it was one of those days. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. I have to get some white. got some right here. Hopefully this is wide enough to stamp this on. Nope. That one might be. That one will do. Okay. Alrighty. So I've cut that out, and that's going to layer on there like that. Oh, I should have put this on first. Now I have to cut it again. Oh well. Oh well. Let's just give this a chop. Run that through. I should have put it on here and cut them both together, but I didn't. Oh. So you reset clocks on Friday and Saturday, Yvonne? Now I'm going to cut this down because I don't want it to be quite that big. I wanted it to be 2 inches. Oh, that is 2 inches, but that's not what this is. This is only, let's see, 1 3/8. Oops, I just dropped it on the floor. Okay, 1 3/8. There we go. And then I was cutting up my lettuce and stuff for my salad tonight, and I wounded my wing. Okay, so that's going to go right on top like that. So I'll just get my adhesive and do that. My very last cut, I had to go and wound myself. I hate having wounds because when you're trying to work with your hands, it gets really, see, I can't even, yes. So I'm going to stop complaining now because I've done enough of that. It's time just to carry on. Get used to wearing a band-aid for a bit. It was a good one. I did a good job. Okay, now just lining that up there like that. There we go. Okay, now let's stamp this and get on with coloring. So I'm stamping it in Memento ink because I'm going to color with the Stampin Blends because I want there to be purple around the outside. Now, if you go online and Google succulent pictures, you would be amazed at the different colors there are out there. Okay, I'll give this a stamp here. There we are. Now we'll get the die without losing the other dies. Oh, that way. Okay. Now, the other day somebody said to me, why do you die cut before you color? Well, there's a reason. Because if I die cut before I color, if I mess up the cutting, I haven't spent all that time coloring it just to have to restamp it and do it again. Okay. So, did everybody have a good weekend? Did you get that? Did you enjoy that snow yesterday? That was just bizarre. Oh, I don't have my other light turned on. That's why I'm dark on one side. There we go. But today was gorgeous. Holy man. While I was standing in line at the post office, we have to stand outside, I had to take my coat off. It was so hot. Okay, good cut job. Now I'm using Mint Macaron and Purple Posy to color this. Sideways? Oh, wow. Okay, so this is light Mint Macaron I'm putting on here. And I'm going to try to color this and be a little bit quick about it, because this can take a while, and I should have probably colored part of it, but I didn't. And I just realized I should have put the Purple Posy on first. But this one, if putting Purple Posy on afterwards doesn't work, it'll be different than my first card. Okay, let's get some Purple Posy. Okay, that's not going to work. Let's get some dark Purple Posy. Oh, that'll do. That'll do. Yeah, it was quite weird, the rain. First of all, it started with hail, and then it went on to rain. Okay, back in with the light. Mush it all together. Yeah, talk and color, Mollet. Talk and color. Okay, so this one's going to be different. That's cool. So now I'll just keep doing the flowers the same way. And you'll be able to see the difference between putting the Purple Posy on first and putting it on second. Whoops, try not to go outside the lines. You can take your time with these Stampin' Blends, and you can also do quick jobs. You don't always have to color the long way. Sometimes this stamp is hard to decide which is which. Okay, so now we'll get some Purple Posy on there. Today I was working on my May Club cards. And the hostess, Janet, decided we're doing Sand and Sea Sweet, which I was really happy because I like playing with that. So I've tried to pick something a little bit different. So that'll be fun, because when I come home, I have to get them into the mail soonish after I'm home, or they won't get to the out-of-town club members in time. But that's okay. They'll be done. I'm just putting the finishing touches on number 3. You guys are being awfully quiet out there. What's going on? Just trying to not be too long coloring this stuff. Nobody did anything exciting on the weekend. There was like no walking in the sunshine, no gardening. That weather is coming. It's a coming our way. We'll soon be out there. I have hyacinths that are out. Well, not yet. They're getting bigger and bigger, and their heads are getting nice and fat and juicy, and I bet anything they're going to come out and bloom while I'm not home. So I may just end up missing all of them. So I'm just going around yep, coloring. Oh, cool, Norma. That'll be fun to have a greenhouse. Oh, Holly, every time I think of a garden, I think of you, because you are the gardening queen. Last year I had a lovely, what do they call them, salad garden? Where you have, I didn't have lettuce, but I had peppers and tomatoes and peas and cucumbers. Oh, the cucumbers were so good. I saved some seeds, which reminds me I should get them out and start them when I get home. Kind of want to have the same ones again. They were like a long English cucumber, and they're so sweet. The first couple we had an issue with being sour, but then when I upped the water intake for them, they came nice and sweet. Oh, flower pot. Yeah, you did my class. That was a marathon. That was a marathon, Carmen. We made cards from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Sunday with the Happy Mail Stamp Camp, making 8 cards with the snail dip bundle. It was a lot of fun. It's a great way because when we started it was pouring rain. That was yesterday, wasn't it? Holy man, how time flies. It was pouring rain, and then the sun came out, and then it was pouring rain, and then we had snow and hail. So it was kind of a good day to stay in the house and make cards. And now, loaded the 5th wheel on the weekend. Oh yeah, yep, us too, Gloria. We head out on Sunday. The only thing I have left to put in there is the clothes and the fridge food. Oh, and my crafting supplies, because, you know, I'm going to have a class in Tofino, and I want to work on that that class, that sampler class that I showed you guys, the one by Gail Ellis. I bought her tutorial, so I'm going to be planning that and making a sample and costing it out to see how much stuff we'll use for it. So it'll be coming. That'll be an all-day thing too. Okay, have I got the 3 main ones? Yes. Okay, I'm going to switch and do the other ones in just dark, just jade. So that, and you're probably going, well, why are these so dark compared to that? Because they will lighten as the ink dries. And these ones, I didn't put any other color. I just left them as they are. Yeah, breaks were a little necessary, weren't they? And doing all that pre-work definitely helped you have a more relaxed time. Yeah, I did send out the cutting requirements ahead of time, which was good, because the kits didn't include the designer paper and stuff cut, because everybody got half a package of the designer paper. So that was homework before the class started. And then there was a lot of coloring, all the snails that we colored. That's okay. Oh, and then yesterday, while I was online with everybody, we got a phone call from MasterCard telling me that to call them back on the number on the back of the card. Called me by name, didn't use, like, request any information, just said call back on the number on the back of the card. And I thought, uh-oh, Sugar Shack, that's going to be not good. Sure enough, somebody tried to use my card. So Janet, I had to redo mine too. That is a pain in the ass, I'll tell you. And it's not the first time that's happened to me. And most of the stuff on there, like, we have a lot of payments that come off through that, because our credit card is one where we get points for food at No Frills, so we use it as much as we can. So there's a lot of payments on there that need to be changed, and not all of them are changeable online, which I don't understand. How I got one flower so light? You mean on here, Marlene, or on here? Oh, you know what I did? I'm using Just Jade, and I used Mint Macaron on there. That's why they're lighter. So I'm using different colors on here. That's how come it looks so light. Let me get the Mint Macaron. So see, this is Mint Macaron. And if I use Mint Macaron, see how much lighter it is? So can you see the difference in the color? That's why this one is so light, because I used Mint Macaron for these, and I used Just Jade for the big ones. So there you go. That's the difference in the flowers. But this one I did a lot of shading and stuff, and this one I have not. Just the purple on there. And then, of course, if you want it lighter, you can always, after you've done it, go in with your color lifter and lift some color off. It works really well with light colors, not so much with the dark ones, because you'll see a definite spot there where it's like you're bleaching things. So that's why that's so light and this is so dark, because completely different colors. Okay, put the lids on. So this is the color lifter. Let's just go in here and see if we can make this a little bit lighter. So when you're using the color lifter, you just want to go over it once and just let it sit there and do its job, because you can always do it again if it doesn't remove enough. It takes a while to lift the color. Then as you're doing this, of course, you have to remember which ones you've done and which ones you haven't done. And usually that's the issue for me, trying to remember which ones I've done. So I'm just going right over top of what I did before, and you can see it starting there. It's starting to make it lighter. And you have to let it work, because what it does, it's called a color lifter, but what it actually does is it pushes the color through to the back. So I'll just go over top of these ones too. So along with a new phone and having to deal with all that, and then I had to clear my cookies on my computer and have to deal with all that, because that erases all of your memory when you go to the internet, your quick links and any of your passwords, all of that stuff. So every time I went somewhere, I had to re-enter all my information. And then I had the whole credit card issue. Hi, Rita. Yeah, so see, it's going a little bit lighter. And if I wanted, I could continue, now that this has worked a bit, just go back over and do it again. It lightens it right up. People forget about the color lifter. And you should really have one in your arsenal when you're using Stampin' Blends, because if you go outside the lines, as long as it's not with red, then you can correct that to a certain degree. It doesn't do it 100%. So I'm not going to go in the center, I'm just doing around the outside. And see, it's gone quite a bit lighter now. When you look at a flower, the center petals are usually darker than the ones on the outside. This also blends while it's taking it away, so it'll help if you have issues with your blending too. There we go. We'll just let that sit now and work away while we put the card together. Okay. So we'll put this goes on to the purple posy. So I've got tonight, Thursday night, and Friday night, and then I'm gone until the 5th of April. We're home on the 5th of April, and I'm all set up to do my Facebook Live that night. My kit's done and I'm ready to go. So as long as they don't close the road between here and there, we'll be fine, and I'll be live 7 o'clock, April the 5th. So tonight, and then Thursday night. Wednesday I have my chicken class in the afternoon at 1 o'clock. Thursday night I'll be live at 7, and we're doing an Easter card on Thursday. Okay, so that I put that down flat. This is going down flat as well in the center-ish here. And then Friday night, I don't know, there's some picture popping up. I've got it all scheduled. Oh, you know what I haven't done? I haven't done the pot. You need to stamp the pot. and color the pot. Did I even get the pot out of the stamp set? Best part about these nights is the little tidbits like it. Oh, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I tell you. I never know what I'm going to say either. Sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's not. Okay. So now we will die cut the pot. And I think I'll see if I can get the thank you in there at the same time. See, and it's on the other side of my block. Oh, look. Don't wiggle. There we go. All right, pot. And whoops. That on there. This one on there. There. I'll run that through the machine. Okay, now we'll color the pot. That's there. I'm going to have to start writing a list of crafty stuff I need to take with me so I remember. Okay. So I'm going to use Calypso Coral to do the pot. And I want to leave a lightish center. So I'm going to put a base coat of Calypso Coral light all over the whole thing, except where I want the light area to be. So we'll put it over on that side this time. So I'm just kind of leave a spot like this, just so it looks like there's a bit of a light reflection, or there's a light source coming in there. I'll do the rest of it. It's hard to hold this in place with my band-aided finger because it hurts. I think I did a really good job of cutting myself. And it took a while to stop bleeding. Okay, so now I'm going back over it to make sure there's enough ink on here to blend the dark one in. And I'm not going over top of that light area yet. I'm going to go almost up to it, like that. A little bit there. Okay, now I'm going to take the dark and just, it's going to be dark quite a bit at the top because the flowers are going to have cast a shadow on it, and then a little bit along here, and then go along like that. Do a line at the bottom and a line at the top, and then there won't be as much of a shadow on this side because this is where the light source is coming from. So I'm going to leave that a little bit more narrow down there. I know it looks okay, Val. It looks ugly, But now comes the magic. Now you go back over top of where that is and put lots of ink on there so that it starts blending. And you can see it start to blend already. You see that side compared to that side. And you have to put lots of ink. If you don't put lots of ink, they don't blend. You'll just get the definition of the light and the dark. So you want it to go through like that on the back, because that means your paper is wet enough that there's enough there for it to start blending. Okay, so when you get it starting blending, then you just go back over it again and take it further out in there and see how nicely it's blending now. And we'll go back over this one again. It would be easier if my finger wasn't in the way. And blend everything like that. And then the very last thing I do is just, I'm not putting any pressure on the pen at all. It's just gently gliding over top of where that light source is. So now you have the nicely blended on the side. You've got your light source. Then you just go and play with it till you get it looking the way you want it. I want that blended a little bit more down there. There we go. And then if you want, you can go back over top. I'm not. I'm just going to go in a couple of spots. There we go. That's how you do a pot with a light source. I use the bullet tip, Gloria, because that's my preference. It's personal preference which side you use. Okay, if I can get the lid off. Okay, so there's a brush end and there's a bullet end. I like the bullet end because I have more control. So the bullet end lets me get really light. See how narrow I can get it with the bullet end? This end I find, because when you put it on there, it does that. Can you see how it lays down? See? It doesn't stay, even doing this, the tip does this, and I don't like that because I find that the ink, you can get it really nice and thin, but you see how the ink is flowing further than this because you get more ink come out of the brush end than you do out of the bullet end. So it's just a personal preference. Okay, so we have our pieces, and see how much lighter these flowers went with that blender, that color lifter on there. It was a happy accident having that happen. Okay, dimensionals we need. Get some on our pot. Okay, so that's going to go there. I haven't put it down yet. And then this is kind of like a personal preference of which I've seen them this way. I'm not a fan of that, but if that's what makes your heart go pitter-patter, then use it like that. I've seen them this way. I've seen them that way. I've seen them this way, which to me is completely upside down, but you know, they could be hanging over the edge of the pot. See, it's a personal preference of which way looks good to you. So let's just figure this out. Maybe we'll just angle them a bit like that. So then I'm going to move my pot up a bit because I still have the sentiment to go. So there's my little ones. We'll get some dimensionals down in the corner, because this is going to sit on top of the pot like that. So I only want dimensionals in the corners. So that's about where it will go. So I'm just going to make a mark on the back where the pot is, so I don't put my dimensionals down below that, because that'll ride on the pot itself. And put copious quantities of dimensionals on there because I don't want it to collapse. Okay, now we have one more to put on here too, down in this corner. Teaching moment. Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes that happens and sometimes that doesn't happen. So we're going to put it. That's kind of cool. I like that. Sure, see how different it is from this one? But it really is cool that way. Okay, put pot on first. Put the pot on. And I haven't pushed it down yet. I just want to make sure that that's where I want it to be. Yep, okay. Now we'll take these ones off. Oops. One decided it needed to live there. Okay, we'll put that on the pot. Like that. And we'll take them off of the sentiment. And the sentiment will go down there. There we are. Now this one, I didn't put any Wink of Stella on, but I think I'm going to add some Wink of Stella because I can. Just quickly put it on because you know Wink of Stella is what makes the world go round. Uh-oh, I just remembered something that I didn't put in the kits for the Tofino class. Uh-oh, I have to make a note quick before I forget. I have to put the holiday rhinestones in there. There. I have to remember. Okay, so there we are. We've got some shimmer and shine on there, and just on these ones. I didn't put it on those ones. So let's build the inside now. So I'm going to put a strip of purple posy. That color is leaving us. Oh, I'm so sad. I love purple posy. It's been a while since we had a really nice soft purple. Okay, I'll put this on there. And I know it's too long. I'll cut it off before I put it in there. Yes. So what's the date today? I don't know. 15th. So 9 days and the retiring list comes out. And then we'll know exactly what's leaving from the holiday catalog. And we'll know most of what's happening with the stuff on the mini catalog too. Because, of course, if it's carrying through onto the annual catalog, we're going to know that on the 24th. March the 24th. It's going to be a big day. Because you guys get the retiring list. So we get the retiring list too. It's not coming out ahead of time for us. But demonstrators get access to the new catalog online on the 24th. And I can't wait. There, now we'll just slice this extra bits off. So I've already pre-warned my family. On the 24th, they're on their own. I'm going to be busy. What? I can't see them retiring the trimmer. They just brought it out, Val. Ah, that's not good. We'll have my fingers crossed that that doesn't happen. Oh, okay. Put that on the inside. I love mint macaron and purple posy together. They really go well. They complement each other really nicely. Okay, so there's the card. Now on the envelope, the original envelope, I stamped one of the images in mint macaron on the envelope. But I have, okay, I have to get this out of the way. I have this, and we're going to make an envelope because I've got to use some of this designer paper. Holy Aunt Jemima. I might just take a whole bunch of designer paper and my envelope punch board, make a whole bunch of envelopes while I'm camping. I don't anticipate having rainy weather, which is when I would be doing all this stuff. Okay, so which way do I want it up? I want it up this way, so I'll cut that up. Yeah, the first couple of days we're there, it's supposed to be cloudy. And then beginning Tuesday, the sun is supposed to shine. Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that. I may not get a lot of crafting time while I'm there. But I do have to do that sampler class, get that organized. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, let's give this a little bit of a trim. Get some adhesive on there. And this side. I use this so much on the weekend that it's running out, and they get hard to use when they're running out. There we go. The envelope and the card. You're supposed to, oh yeah, I know, but can you imagine going 16 days without making a card or anything? I can't imagine it. So I'm going to be doing this. So this is the sampler, and I purchased Gail's tutorial, and I'm going to make this while I'm in Tofino. Is that not gorgeous? So she's put it on in a 12 by 12 frame, and this is 12 by 12 designer paper. So I don't know whether that's going to be included in the class or not, but this is 8.5 by 8.5. So that all the pieces will be included for that. Yeah, no, I don't think I could go 16 days without crafting of some sort. Paper Pumpkin is supposed to be here this week, so that's cool. I'll take that with me too. And I'll be able to do a little bit of Paper Pumpkin, get that done. That'll hold me. Hours and hours and hours of card games. So I guess technically I'm carding while I'm there. I'm just playing card games instead of making cards. That's kind of a funny. Yeah, that is pretty. I like that. I like that. And this one didn't turn out too bad. Once I took some of the color out of it, it bleached it light. But this one, Marlene, that was definitely the wrong color. This is done with mint macaron, and this one I did with just jade. So that's the difference. Ooh, Paper Pumpkin, they're on their way. Of course, they're not as easy to track as they used to be, because now they're using this landmark, and once landmark hits BC, they slough it off to Canada Post. So it'll be coming Canada Post. That's the pop with the mountains, right? Mountain Dew? Don't know what you're talking about, Valerie. Did I say something along the way that... I like how this one... Valerie, can you explain what your question is about? Because I don't know. I like how this one is this way and this one is this way. See, you turning it around makes a completely different card. That is kind of cool. Paper Pumpkin. Yes, that's the one you wanted. It's the one with the free sponge and the free masks. The mountain masks. That's the one. Oh dear. Okay, ladies, have you got any other questions? I'll just put a few things away while I wait and see if there's any questions or comments. I have a few things I have to put away. I think I'm going to add some Winky onto the first one because it's so pretty on the second one. I'm hoping that by the time I get back from Tofino, Dr. Bonnie will have made it a little bit easier to get together in person. But I'm not holding my breath, as there was a lot of cases again this weekend. 75 more on the island. Yuck. But she did say that you are allowed to go and travel in your own area and enjoy your own area, so that's what we're doing. We're lucky Tofino is in our area. Oh, Rita, you do. You can get it on Amazon. Amazon has them. You're very welcome, Holly and Yvonne and Marlene. Thanks so much for joining me. I will see you Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Have a wonderful week. Stampin' Smiles. Bye for now.